The girl wants to see you. Her name's Wonderly. You come in, Miss Wonderly.
They usually do, though not always in England. We had a client.
Who's the client?
But I'd feel better about it if you'd have a drink with me. Who put that bright idea in your head? Oh, have Miles' desk move out of the office and have...
Am I to blame for last night?
Imagine my embarrassment when I found out that 5,000...
That's searching for it.
Why don't you sit around here and let people...
The hill driver. Okay.
Then he pulled a gun on me. Well, that's neither here. That gun was a plant. It was one of mine. Too big.
It's all upside down, every which way.
What does your woman's intuition tell you about her?
Nasa, we'll talk if you like.
Find somebody, a victim, when the time comes. If I don't, because I've practiced taking guns away. I'll make out all right.
Well, sir, the shortest farewell there be.
He'd have looked you up and down and licked his lips and gone. You thought Thursby would tackle Miles in one of the...
You misunderstand me. It's not that at all.
All right, you've had your little joke. Now tell us about it.
5 15/17%.
Come in. Bad business to let the killer...
The Maltese Falcon begins in 1941 San Francisco at the detective agency of Spade and Archer. Sam Spade, a tough private investigator with a hardened demeanor, meets with a well-dressed blonde woman calling herself Miss Wonderly. She appears distressed as she tells him her younger sister has run away with a dangerous man named Floyd Thursby. She needs help finding her sister and is willing to pay generously for their services. Spade's partner, Miles Archer, is immediately attracted to this mysterious client and eagerly volunteers to follow Thursby that same night. Spade agrees to take the case, though his skeptical expression suggests he doesn't entirely believe her story from the beginning. That night brings complete disaster. Miles Archer is shot dead in a dark, fog-covered alley while tailing Thursby through the San Francisco streets. Just hours later, Thursby himself is murdered on a different street corner. The police arrive at Spade's apartment before dawn with devastating news. Detective Tom Polhouse, who knows Spade personally, and the aggressive Lieutenant Dundee interrogate him with increasing hostility. They suspect Spade killed Thursby as revenge for his partner's death, or perhaps killed both men for reasons not yet clear. Spade remains remarkably calm and emotionless throughout the intense questioning, showing little visible grief over Archer's brutal murder. This cold, detached reaction makes the detectives even more suspicious of his involvement, but they lack solid evidence to arrest him and must release him. The next morning, Miss Wonderly telephones Spade and asks him to meet her urgently at her hotel room. When he arrives, she's visibly frightened and shaking. She confesses that her name is actually Bridg O'Shaughnessy and admits she lied about absolutely everything. There is no missing sister. She's deeply involved in something dangerous, but refuses to explain exactly what she's caught up in or why people are dying. Despite her complete deception, Spade decides to keep working for her. There's clear romantic and sexual tension developing between them, though Spade makes it absolutely plain he doesn't trust her. He demands $200 as payment and warns her sternly that he expects honesty going forward, though both seem to understand she'll likely continue lying. That same afternoon, a peculiar and unusual man named Joel Cairo visits Spade's office unannounced. He's a small, extremely well-dressed foreigner who speaks with precise, careful diction and carries perfumed handkerchiefs that smell of gardenias. Cairo makes Spade an extraordinary offer of $5,000 to recover a blackbird statuette. Before Spade can properly respond or ask questions, Cairo suddenly pulls out a pistol and insists on searching the office immediately for the statue. Spade, far more physically capable than the smaller Cairo anticipated, quickly disarms him with ease and knocks him unconscious with a single punch. When Cairo regains consciousness minutes later, he's embarrassed, but they come to a business agreement. Spade will search for this mysterious falcon statue, and they arrange to meet that evening at Spade's apartment with Bridg also present. The meeting at Spade's apartment that night becomes immediately chaotic and revealing. Bridg arrives first and seems nervous. When Cairo appears at the door, she's genuinely shocked and frightened. They clearly know each other from past dealings and immediately begin arguing intensely. Cairo accuses Bridget of having the Falcon statue and demands she hand it over to him immediately. Bridget vehemently denies having it or knowing its location. Their heated, emotional argument reveals they were partners in Istanbul working together to steal this valuable statue from its previous owner. During their argument, the police suddenly arrive at Spade's door, responding to a neighbor's complaint about the shouting and noise. Spade improvises brilliantly, convincing the skeptical officers that he and Cairo were merely staging the loud fight as a practical joke to test how soundproof the apartment walls were. The police reluctantly leave, but Lieutenant Dundee warns Spade threateningly that he's watching him very closely and expects him to slip up soon. The next day, Spade receives a summons to meet with Casper Gutman, a massively overweight, cultured man staying at one of San Francisco's most expensive hotels. Gutman is charming, eloquent, and clearly well-educated, but there's an underlying danger to him. Over drinks that Gutman has secretly laced with knockout drugs, he explains the Falcon's incredible and lengthy history in fascinating detail. The statue was created in 1539 by the Knights of Malta as a tribute to King Charles of Spain. It's made of solid gold and encrusted with the finest jewels imaginable, worth an absolute fortune. However, it was covered in black enamel to disguise its true value during transport. This priceless treasure has been lost and sought after for centuries by treasure hunters. Gutman reveals he has personally spent 17 years of his life searching for it across multiple continents and will pay $50,000 for its safe return. As Gutman continues talking enthusiastically about his obsession, the drugged drink finally takes full effect, and Spade loses consciousness completely. Spade wakes up several hours later back in his own office, having been carried there and dumped unceremoniously. He quickly discovers that Gutman, Cairo, and Gutman's young, trigger-happy gunman, Wilmer Cook, have all fled San Francisco aboard a ship heading out to sea. Meanwhile, Captain Jacoby of the freighter La Paloma staggers desperately into Spade's office with multiple bullet wounds in his chest, clutching a bundle wrapped in newspaper. Jacoby manages to hand the package to Spade before collapsing dead on the floor. Inside the blood-stained bundle is the Black Falcon statue itself. Spade thinks quickly and stashes it in a bus station storage locker for safekeeping, then calls Bridget to arrange a meeting. Bridget arrives at his apartment late that night. Spade confronts her directly and aggressively about the murders of both Archer and Thursby. She continues lying repeatedly, changing her story multiple times as Spade pokes holes in each version. He doesn't believe any of her explanations, but keeps pressing her relentlessly for the complete truth. Before they can finish this interrogation, Gutman, Cairo, and Wilmer suddenly arrive at the apartment door, having returned quickly to the city. Gutman offers Spade $10,000 in cash, plus a full quarter of the Falcon's eventual sale value if he'll hand over the statue. Spade negotiates shrewdly, also demanding they provide him with a fall guy to give the police for Thursby's murder. After tense negotiations, they agree on Wilmer as the scapegoat. Spade retrieves the Falcon from the bus station locker. Back at the apartment, Gutman unwraps the heavy Falcon with trembling, excited hands after years of searching. Using his penknife with great anticipation, he carefully scrapes away the black enamel coating, expecting to finally reveal the golden jewels underneath that he's dreamed about. Instead, to his complete horror, he discovers the statue is made entirely of worthless lead. It's a clever fake, a replica. Gutman and Cairo are absolutely devastated, realizing they've wasted years chasing the wrong bird across continents. After recovering somewhat from the crushing shock and disappointment, Gutman philosophically decides to continue his search for the real Falcon and leaves quietly with Cairo to plan their next move. Wilmer attempts to follow them out, but Spade physically stops him and hands him over to the arriving police as the designated fall guy for Thursby's murder. Now, finally alone with Bridget in the early morning light, Spade reveals he's carefully figured out everything. She killed Miles Archer, not Thursby. She deliberately shot Archer to frame Thursby, planning cleverly to have the police hunt down and kill Thursby for her, thereby eliminating her partner in the Falcon scheme without getting her own hands dirty. Bridget desperately pleads with Spade, crying and reminding him they've become lovers over these intense days. She begs him emotionally not to turn her in to the authorities. Spade struggles visibly with this terrible decision, his face showing real conflict. He explains painfully that when your partner is killed, you're supposed to do something about it, regardless of what you personally thought of him. It's the detective's code. He lists all the rational reasons he won't let her get away with murder, even though his feelings for her are genuine. Despite everything between them, he picks up the telephone and calls the police to report her. The film ends with Detective Polhouse and other officers arriving to arrest Bridget for murder. She's led away in handcuffs while Spade watches with a hardened, emotionally exhausted expression, masking his inner pain. Polhouse curiously picks up the heavy lead Falcon and asks Spade what exactly it is. Spade gives a slight, bitter smile and delivers the memorable final line, calling it the stuff that dreams are made of. The detective carries the worthless statue down the stairs as Spade stands alone in his apartment, having chosen his professional code and principles over love and personal happiness.